This is your Barbados Today evening news update for Wednesday, May the 23rd. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, the Electoral Department says it's ready for tomorrow's general election. But while she did not address the status of the final voters list, Chief Electoral Officer Angela Taylor said today much of the last 2 days were spent collecting ballot papers from the government printery after they were checked to ensure they were properly numbered and no inaccuracies or inconsistencies existed. Taylor also said that the polling tins for each polling station have been packed with registration cards so that electors who turn up to vote without ID cards, the officers would refer to the registration cards. Now, she has also expressed disappointment that Barbadians did not heed the department's call to register early. Meanwhile, the Royal Barbados Police Force says it's generally pleased with the conduct of political parties and their supporters on the campaign trail. Police say there has been no disorder throughout the campaign, and they thanked officials and campaign managers for honoring a commitment given at a meeting with the senior command of the police force. Police noted that this election has been challenging on its resources, and officers must be commended for their commitment to national duty. Police officers will be posted at all polling stations and polling districts island-wide to ensure a safe environment tomorrow. Now, officers will also be on patrol throughout the day to ensure that law and order is maintained. And as voters prepare to go to the polls, one religious organization is offering prayers for an incident-free election. A statement from the Catholic Church says, whatever the outcome of tomorrow's vote, it is important that partisan differences are set aside. The Church also called for all political parties, supporters, and citizens to build bridges and work together in the interest of the nation. The Catholic Church says this year's general election will stand out owing to the large number of political parties and independent candidates contesting seats. It also noted that there has been vigorous, sometimes heated debate on and off the political platform, with the island's economic challenges coming under scrutiny. The Church called on those in authority to carry out their duties with humility, compassion, and courage, and to exercise authority for the common good. And with hours to go before all political campaigning ceases, the parties have been making a final pitch to voters as to why they should be chosen to lead the country for the next 5 years. Now, Prime Minister Francis Stewart gave a vote of confidence to his finance minister and candidate for St. Michael North East, Chris Sinclair, for his handling of the economy and other matters.
It has been my special pleasure and privilege to chair a cabinet of Barbados, of which Christopher Sinclair has been a member. In 2008, when the Democratic Labour Party was elected to office, we all entered the cabinet. I as Attorney General and he as Minister with responsibility for Foreign Affairs. And variously he has held the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Social Care, and the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs. And whether he has held the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Social Care, or the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, he has brought to the discharge of his public responsibilities an integrity, a strength of character, a clarity of purpose that have all contributed not only to enriching the deliberations of the Cabinet of Barbados, but also have had the effect of strengthening our political and social fabric and putting Barbados on a path to vertebrate political and social advancement.
At a meeting in Eagle Hall last night, opposition Barbados Labour Party leader Mia Motley told supporters her team is the most competent to address the critical issues facing the country.
We put together some of the best brains in economics in this country. And we asked them to take the ideas that were coming forth and the ideas that reflected the philosophy of the best political party in this country and its government of whole. And we said, look, let's make this real. Because we know that once we do that, we will have a credible program for the best political party in the country to execute. And we have tonight the best economic brains implementing the best program rooted in the best philosophy of the best political party. And I am happy that I can stand here on the eve of the decision of this election to reflect this.
And leader of the United Progressive Party, Lynette Eastman, says her party is offering the electorate a fresh start.
We are asking you to join us on this journey, this new journey of discovery, a new journey of exploring new ideas for the country. We are not bogged down by any of the tradition or the ways of doing things of the other political parties. We can start with a fresh slate. And therefore, we are asking Barbadians to come along with us and join us on this new journey.
And Scott Weatherhead, who is contesting the Christchurch East Central seat for Solutions Barbados, has this advice for voters.
You need to pass all the fanfare and all the entertainment and dig deep to listen to the messages and say, do these sound like they will work? Do these sound sensible? Does this sound like this is going to make a difference in my life, really? And analyze it. Really think about it like you're taking an exam at school before you go into that polling station to put your name in a box. Decide, this person I'm voting for, are they going to represent me well? Does the party that they represent have a serious plan to fix this problem, or have they just entertained me well for the last 3 weeks?
Prime Minister Francis Stewart is getting the backing of his Attorney General when Stewart suggested that the Caribbean Court of Justice has been disrespecting this country and for describing the CCJ's judges as politicians in robes. However, speaking on the sidelines of a Democratic Labour Party meeting at Haggett Hall last night, Adriel Brathwaite did not go as far as to say he agreed with the Prime Minister's threat to pull out of the appellate jurisdiction of the court if his DLP were re-elected at tomorrow's general election.
I share the Prime Minister's concern about the court. And I think, unfortunately, that certain actors in the court, I have to go now. That certain actors in the court are more concerned about bringing other people around, other countries around, than ensure that they do the right thing continuously. So I share the Prime Minister's concern.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
The election clock is ticking as the battle for Bay Street begins. Barbados is ready to vote, and there is only one team you can trust to bring you balanced, comprehensive, unrivaled coverage. Barbados Today, Capital Media HD 99.3 and 6 Gear Studios have teamed up to make sense of it all. Follow the stories, the political rallies, all the happenings on the trail, exclusive interviews, the people say, expert analysis on every media platform. Barbados Votes 2018. We have the campaign covered.
We're back with news from the region now. Trinidad and Tobago's opposition leader, Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, is standing in solidarity with a Muslim girl who's insisted on wearing her religious headgear known as a hijab, despite being barred by her school. Prasad-Bissessar said that a hijab is a sacred wear for Muslim women and should not be treated in the same vein as a miniskirt or sleeveless dress. And she has called on the Minister of Education and the Attorney General to move swiftly to have this matter resolved. And on the international scene, President Donald Trump warned today that he was working on a plan to reduce U.S. aid to countries he says are doing nothing to stop the MS-13 gang members from crossing into the United States illegally. Trump has made the fight against the gang a major part of his drive to stem the flow of immigrants illegally entering the United States. And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic evening.